is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Friday, let's go! You're listening to the best show on the Dallas Cowboys podcast network. You are looking live at the Tostitos Championship Plaza.
These guys are working
out here at the Star in Frisco outside Ford Center, and man, they're getting it. I don't know what they're doing, but that dude is going to vomit from running around. Uh-oh, his thing fell down. Anyway, 84 degrees outside, feels like 91. A high of today, 98 degrees. A low tonight of 77, but clear skies. And we are hanging with the boys, and we got Jesse in the big chair today. We got him where the big fella usually sits. Nate's not going to be here today. He's got some business he had to take care of. Kurt is here. I am here. Big day for Jesse. We aired the what was the name of the documentary, Jesse?
Deep Blue?
Yeah.
Oh, mine?
Yeah, the name of yours.
It was Reality to Hollywood.
Mine, like you don't know what we're going to talk about today. No. What was it?
Reality to Hollywood. Reality
to Hollywood with L-L-E-Y.
Yeah, H-O-L-L-E-Y.
Okay, so we're gonna save that for the last segment. The second segment, we're gonna take phone calls because I screwed that up last show. Yeah. So we're gonna take phone calls. So that means we need to get right into it.
You gotta give the number out.
888-855-2297. That's the number. The people know the number.
The people know.
The people know. All right, let's get right into it. I want to talk about all these guys that changed numbers real quick.
Yeah, it's
weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
A lot of guys. You want to go down the list, Kurt?
I don't know it. I don't have the list pulled up, actually.
It's right here. It's highlighted. The guys that are highlighted changed their number.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'll go down the list since Kurt doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm lost.
Kamara changed to 54. Osa changed to 97. Jabril Cox changed to 14. It still throws me off with linebackers having teen numbers.
For sure.
Diggs went to 7. Nashawn Wright went to 25, and Jaron Kearse went to 27. And then I heard rumbles that there may be still some trickle-down effect to all the number changes, so there may be more guys changing numbers. But we will see. So that's an update on that.
I guess those guys don't have enough because you're supposed to – aren't you supposed to pay for the jerseys made or something like that? But I guess these guys are young.
Did you want me to read that list again?
Yeah. Right.
Which one of these? There's one guy on here that may have had, besides their families.
That's true.
That has had jerseys made, and I would imagine Diggs only has a handful.
Is that like that 97 thing that they do on the defensive line? Like all of them have 90s, right?
The Hot Boys.
Yeah. We won't call them. No, I'm not gonna use that. I'm not gonna go back to that again.
Speaking of Osa, he had some pretty. I want to know, Jesse. All right, so what did he exactly say, Kurt? What was his comment?
Well, they asked him if
this was after practice.
Yeah, and they're approaching the game against the Buccaneers, obviously, and they asked him about Brady and I guess some weaknesses that Brady might have.
He didn't lie. He
probably didn't lie, but he said, to the effect that Brady is old and probably not very mobile anymore, and if you get rookie, you don't want to poke the bear.
Remember, I think he just read the scouting report. That's what he did. Unfortunately.
Remember on Last Dance, the documentary with the Bulls, and that moment that Mike's sitting there with the iPad and he says, and I took that personal. Mm-hmm. Like that's what Tom Brady does. Yeah. Tom Brady, those greats, the Michael Jordans, the Tom Bradys, when you accomplish so much in life, like what does Tom Brady have to prove to Osa? Nothing. Mm-mm. Son, I got more championships than me personally, have more championships than any franchise in the National Football League. Mm-hmm. My wife is a supermodel. I got enough money to swim around like Scrooge McDuck in. What do they look for? Stuff like this.
Yep.
Oh, I'm old? I'm not mobile. Okay, rookie. Let me show you why I've been around longer than you've been almost been alive.
And I get that. It's bulletin board material. What I want to know, Jesse, is his teammates, Randy Gregory, Tank, those guys, are they like, okay, let's go? Or are they like, rookie, shut up?
It's both. It's like, listen.
Don't do this anymore, but.
Don't do this. We're going to ride with you because we're going to ride with you. But listen to me. We're not doing this again.
Say that to us. Don't say it to the media, right?
What you hear in this ain't college. What we say in the meeting rooms, what might have been on the scouting report, we keep that in-house, right? Especially when you're going up against a guy like that. Like this ain't this ain't Baker Mayfield or this ain't Zach Wilson. Nah, this is the GOAT. And he's looking for any and every opportunity to be like, yeah, and Tom Brady will jokingly tell you, I'm white, I'm slow, I'm old, and he can say it.
And I still will beat your ass Thursday.
But when a rookie says it, like I'm going to be watching now for when he like scrambles or makes a miss or steps up in the pocket and
points at him on the ground.
Oh my God, like he's.
Do you think?
I just wonder that first snap, and Brady's going to walk up to the line like. There,
there he is right there. Do you think Joe Trahan and Scott Agulnik and Dave Abruzzi, after they heard him say that, they were just like, oh, my God, all that media training we did with these rookies, like right out the window immediately.
I mean, it was really a harmless quote on the surface. I mean, he was telling the truth probably. And
absolutely he is.
He was giving a good response. But
I mean, that's
a rookie mistake, I guess.
That's Brady's – that's the way you get him. You make him move. You get around his feet. When you get around his feet, he gets nervous. He gets happy. He didn't lie, but still.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Osa didn't lie. He told the most truthful truth that you can tell about Tom Brady. Yes, we get it. He's almost 50. Yes, we get it. He's even in his younger days, he wasn't mobile. You just don't want to give the old man any motivation.
I agree.
To do better than what he's already going to do.
I agree. In fact, we had a guy that came out of the building yesterday when I was filming things for Instagram story, and he came out. He was all pumped up, defensive guy, and he said, Tom Brady, I'm coming after that ASS. And
you're stirring the pot. Man.
I didn't put it out because I didn't want to. And this is a guy that like he's going to get it after that ASS on Thursday. But I didn't want to provide any more bulletin. I didn't want to provide, and then Osa comes out and takes care of that for me, so I don't have to worry about it. So, all right, let's move on. Let's hit a bunch of things real quick in this first segment. A lot to get to. Yeah. Will Grier, like it, hate it. Indifferent?
Indifferent.
I'm indifferent.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they obviously gave up on Gilbert, and they thought, well, maybe and DiNucci's a long shot, so maybe they're thinking, you never know. Here's another guy we can maybe develop. So
here's the one thing about Will Grier, and this goes back to his West Virginia days. The type of quarterback he needs a clean pocket to be successful. When you look at quarterbacks, we hear all these terms, right? We always hear football terms. Oh, watch his bend for a defensive end. Or look at those feet and for a left tackle and his long arms and, a DB. And one of the term that you always hear about a quarterback is arm talent. Like, what is his arm talent? His arm talent, his arm talent. And then you start like kind of grading quarterbacks on arm talent. And, you'll go Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. They don't need clean platforms to throw the ball a mile and to throw the ball 100 miles an hour. They don't need clean platforms, right? Mm-hmm. They can throw it leaning, side, fade away, sidearm, no look. Mm-hmm. They just have the arm talent to be able to do those type of things. And then you hear other quarterbacks say, well, they're more of a running style quarterback or whatever it may be. Will Grier falls in that category of he's an accurate passer when he's clean. Hmm. Will doesn't have the arm talent to be off platform, not stepping into his throws, not being able to be like he needs, like Drew Brees needed a clean pocket because everything about Drew Brees was timing and being able to step into throws. And then they were accurate, they were perfect. And that's kind of, I'm not comparing Will Grier to Drew Brees at all. I'm just saying in the sense of the style of quarterback. He needs to have a clean pocket to be successful. And when he doesn't get that, he's not a good quarterback. Yeah. He's not a quarterback you want to put on the run. He's not a quarterback that you're going to see, do all the loop-de-loop-de crazy stuff and throw like Patrick Mahomes. That's not his style. So being that he came here, the hopes is if he ever has to go out there and take snaps, that we're able to give him the pocket that he needs. Because if he can't step up and throw in a clean pocket, then he's no better than DiNucci.
This was an interesting question on the mailbag this morning on DallasCowboys.com, and what do you want in your quarterback, your backup quarterback? What has he got to be able to do? I mean, he's not going to come in and throw for 400 yards, and he's not going to be Dak Prescott. What do you want from him?
I don't want him to lose the game.
Yeah, just don't make mistakes.
Just don't make mistakes. Yeah. Like I want you to be able to minimize.
Drive the bus.
Yeah, but drive it slow. Like, be right at the speed limit is 55. Be at 55. Like, I just don't need you to do anything outside of your realm. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
don't try to go win the game. Let your team win the game, and you don't lose it for them.
Yeah, as I heard Jameis Winston say in an interview, like, be Bruce Wayne.
Not Batman.
Not Batman. Just
I like that.
Yeah.
Just be Bruce Wayne. But Jameis said, be Bruce Wayne, got to be Bruce Wayne, but then be Batman. But that's for starters. Yeah. Like, be Batman, you got to be. Just be Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne is good.
Yeah.
You don't have to be Batman. Just be Bruce Wayne.
Sometimes I like Bruce Wayne better than Batman. All right, Neville Gallimore will be out, but Jerry said on the Fan, those interior guys on the defensive front are a strength for us. He says the young guys have stepped up, but the team gave up an average of 105.5 rushing yards in the preseason. Is that optimistic, Jerry, or do you guys really think that this defense in front is going to make some strides this year?
They'd better. I don't. There's just no way they can be as bad as they were last year. I don't think. What rushing? God, I hope not. My concern though.
You know
is
what? If they are, in Jesse's words, we're screwed.
Yeah. I guess
with or without Dak, we're screwed.
My concern, I guess, would be is you're relying on some young guys, some rookies in Osa, who's looked outstanding in preseason.
Bohanna's
looked really good. And then some of these new guys coming in that past history, they've been solid, but they're not Pro Bowlers up by any means. So you definitely look better, but you're also, I think, there's a little bit of hope involved, and that's always a little concerning.
Yeah.
And you have to just work through the youth. Like, youthfulness is a process. So you have to work through that youthfulness and understand that where you want them to get won't be where they start.
Yeah.
So you got to give them that opportunity to get out there and to see offensive linemen at the NFL level, to see offensive schemes at the NFL level, to see running backs at the NFL level and quarterbacks changing plays at the NFL level. So you got to give them a chance to work through that first. This is why it's so vital for that offense, our offense, to be humming, because defensively, that's where all your youthfulness is at. That's where you're going to have the biggest growing pains throughout the course of the year. You're going to have that with Osa, and you're going to have that with Quentin, and you're going to have that with Micah Parsons, and you're going to have that with even still with Diggs and Nashawn Wright, and whenever Kelvin Joseph comes back, you're going to have a ton of that. And the thing is, you're going to have it at times where they all mess up at the same time, and then you're going to have it where one play is Kelvin Joseph, one play is Micah Parsons, one play is Nashawn Wright, one play is Quentin Bohannon, one play it's Osa. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have these youthfulness mistakes defensively throughout the year, and you just hope that your offense is humming enough that will get you to a place where, all right, now that we've got those out of our system, now those guys will begin to take form and take shape and say, all right, we can't make the same mistakes we made in week 3 as we did in week 1, and week 6 as we did in week 3, and week 9 as we did in week 6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once we get to that point in time, that November, we know we're talking about that dreaded November, December schedule. We get to that point where all these guys have got the rookie mistakes out of them. They're professionals and they're humming.
It was like watching Diggs progress last year. Like, you could see the talent, and you knew it was worth it, but you knew, like, okay, he's going to blow a coverage. but give me maximum effort every play, and you're developing those guys. It's going to be the same thing this year, except it's not going to be just Diggs. It's going to be a lot of guys, like you said. So it's big growing pains.
Yeah, we like the rookie talent. It looks like it's going to be exciting, and even the second year, like Diggs and all that. Do we have the veteran leadership to kind of carry them through this?
I think up front we do. I think Tank, I think Randy, those guys are just sound, solid dudes. So I think they have it. And even on the back end, I think Malik Hooker, I think Keanu Neal, they're all going to be key. They're all going to be key to really kind of just giving some guys some of the in-game veteran leadership and showing guys. One of the things that's really important when it comes down to game week, especially for rookies, is you have to get with that. Like Micah Parsons should go sit down with Keanu Neal and just learn how to watch film. Because there's a difference between like just clicking on play and watching the plays happen and really understanding what you're watching. And that takes time to really get there. Like you have to really kind of understand what it means. And some people are really great film watchers. Some people don't do it at all.
What was it like for you learning?
For me?
Yeah.
I had to. I was a guy who watched a ton of film.
Because you had to play every position.
I had to play every position. Like when you're in my position, you want to. When the coach turns around looking for somebody, you want to be the guy that says, "I can do it. I can do it. I can do it." And then when you only get 3 or 4 snaps at a time, sometimes
you gotta know how to do it.
You gotta know how to do it. So you can't. I didn't have the luxury to be wrong. I had to be right all the time, right? Because I don't get 40, 50 snaps. So for guys like Micah Parsons, it's getting with Keanu Neal and just really sitting down and saying, okay, I've never seen this scheme before. Yeah. I've never seen this package before. I've never seen this lineup before. And really understanding your keys and putting things together down and distance. All right, listen, when they're in third down, this is what they like to do. And it's going to be between one of these 5 plays. Now, how do I figure out which one it is? I start looking at formations. Where do guys line up at? Where do they have the most success at? And that's a huge part of watching film. And so I think there's enough veteran leadership on this defense. I just hope that the younger guys are receptive to it. Because I can want to lead you all day long. Yeah. But if you don't want to stay after to watch film, if you got something to always do, if you got somewhere to always be every day after practice, as soon as the last meeting break, then it is what it is. But if you're receptive enough to the teaching and to the coaching from your veteran guys, then I think there's enough in this locker room that will carry this defense to a much more prominent place than we were.
Speaking of breaks, let's take our first break.
All right.
888-855-2297. We'll try to get to as many calls as we can in the second segment. And in the third segment, we will review the best documentary ever created, The Deep Blue on Jesse Holley. When we come back on Hanging with the Boys.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
How great would it be to travel to watch the Cowboys win on another team's turf? pretty great. But honestly, just watching the game from anywhere but your house would be fun. Even a hotel bar with some guy named Phil from St. Louis who thinks Oakland still has a team. So whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the show. Stadium on Thursday, September the 9th, as your Dallas Cowboys kick off the season in Tampa Bay. Enjoy $5 Miller Lights, Dallas Cowboys cheerleader performances, and more. Doors open at 5:30 and kickoff is at 7:20. For more information, visit attstadium.com. All right, and we are back, and as promised, we are going to take phone calls.
Let's do it.
Who do we have on the line, Chris?
Well, coming in first would be Anthony from Florida.
Yo, Anthony, what's up, brother?
What's up, my dude? 2 years, baby. 2 years. What's up, fellas? Oh, my God.
We missed you, man.
I miss y'all, man. I'm so, I stayed up for y'all, man, because I get off at 7. So that's dead time. 7 in the morning, that's dead time trying to stay that 10:30 range, but I did it with my boys, man.
And we appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Look here. I caused some controversy because, to be honest, I wanted to holler at Cal, because, as callers, we go through Doug. We went through Doug, so we developed a relationship because people always wonder how me, Eric, Jay, we always getting on. So, Cal has been doing so many things, so I said, let me holler at Cal because he's making me proud. And now I wanted to get to know Chris. Because that's what we got to do. We got to get to know the producers, man. Be nice. Ask questions to them, too.
That's how you get in? You send them cookies and pizza? What's that? Sorry, Chris, I can't hear anything in my headphones.
Chris, you turn off the mic.
You guys hear me?
There we go. We're good now.
Okay, there you go. I'm sorry, man. I called their show to, to holler at them. And, in the pub, our show, I told them I'm loyal hanging with the boys day one. But I will say I like y'all show, and I called to say Cal has been doing a great job because I see him on so many things and so many platforms. Mm-hmm. And I say since Derek wants to talk, their show's definitely not one. They're not even two. Just talking with the boy. Chris will tell you I did it. I did it, man.
You may have just got
to start fights up in
I can't let you throw shade at my boy DE. Like DE, boss man, he know what he's talking about though. So he has more room than the line. I can't let you kill the boss like that.
I'm getting to you. But check this out. I listened, I watched it. I like to watch the live. I like to watch the feed, too, so the TV feed. So I watched it, and they said, okay, they like the call, thanks for all that. But at the same time, all that number 2 stuff, man, they kind of went on that. They were like, well, wait, number 2 stuff. So we called them like, wait, number 2. You know what I'm saying? They appreciated it, but they didn't like that. So it's all good, though. I still like them a little bit, but it's nothing like the boys.
We do, too.
We are number 1.
We like them a little bit, too.
I've been saying that since day one, haven't I? Haven't I?
You have.
Number 1 show, and I told you about my boy Jack. That's all I wanted to call. It was, man, let me tell you, my girl had to comfort me. I had to go to therapy last year from what happened to him. But I told y'all with that moxie back has and that leadership, he was going to be our quarterback when people were questioning him and all that. I said, y'all don't know what we got in this guy, man. So I'm just happy on that. Last but not least, Jesse, look here, man. Brother, me and my old lady watched that thing, man. Boy, Jess, 2 pats on the back, brother.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. That's all I can say, man.
Thank you.
And great job, Kurt. I saw you in the credits, man. And Nick and everyone, I saw you on the credits, Kurt. So it's like, man, y'all did one hell of a job with that documentary, man.
Yeah,
so I'm just ready, and I'm ready for Tampa. I'm ready for old unmobile Tom Brady.
Well,
I wouldn't have said that.
Hey,
but let's stir the pot now.
I know. Let's go. Hey, man, thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Get you some sleep. Appreciate you calling.
Right?
Thank you.
Right? I love y'all, man.
Love you too, man.
Because always give us a shout out. So I'm ready for this year, man. Let's go, Cowboys.
We are too. Let's go. Thank you for calling. Thanks for always listening and supporting us. We appreciate it, man.
He understood that graveyard shift I used to work.
Yeah.
That graveyard shift is something serious.
That clip-on tie.
At 11 to 7.
The clip-on tie. You still have it? No.
I burned that uniform as fast as possible.
So that was a dramatization.
Yeah, that was all Steve.
That was rented a uniform and got it.
And I went on eBay.
Did
Not
you really?
eBay or Amazon.
Yeah, I got them somewhere. Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to all my brothers in the security guard union. You know,
does that include mall cops too?
That's what I was. I was basically a mall cop. Like you don't understand and I've never I was as a youth, but as an adult, once I went through the mall cop phase thing, I don't disrespect them anymore now. Like I understand the daily amount of disrespect. Imagine trying to tell someone to do something,
and you really have no authority.
And you really have no authority.
Kids my age. In Kurt's age, they didn't understand that. They thought mall cop, okay, he got some pull. Kids these days are like, what you gonna do?
I would do the same thing a civilian would do. I would call the police okay, can we get an officer down here to really come do something? They'd be like, man, shut up, get out of here. I'd be so mad.
At least you were pretty good size. You could be a little intimidating.
They didn't respect me.
It didn't matter.
They didn't respect me, man.
Chris, who we got on? Who's next?
Next up, we got G from Jazzy.
Gio, what's up, baby?
What's up? We were just asking where you been, man. Where you been hiding?
Man, y'all ain't been answering no calls.
I know. That's Chris's fault. That's all Chris.
Yeah, man.
Listen, man.
But how are you, man? I know my people up north, the flood's been happening, man. Are you and your family good?
We blessed, man. We I'm out here in Jersey City and in Hoboken, and we got extreme flooding, man. I can't tell you the amount of cars that I've seen that are just totaled, man. There's still cars stuck. We lost some people, man. And, as you know, Jesse, Jersey, man, we don't get tornadoes, man. And we had a town in southwest New Jersey that is over 100 houses just completely destroyed. Tornado ripped through there. Yankees minor league stadium completely covered. I mean, if you guys could look it up, Somerset Patriots, their stadium is just completely covered in rain, man. I'm talking about to the first tier. That's how bad it is out here. We have a lot of people that lost everything, like clothes and everything. So right now, I'm just trying to get in contact with as many people as I can to get whatever we can to help some of these kids out because they're getting ready to go back to school next week. And, we have families that are going through that. So right now we're trying to get make a strong push and effort to just get some of these kids situated.
What I'm going to do, G, what I'm going to do for you though, I'm going to put you in contact. I have your Twitter. I'm gonna hit you up on Twitter because my brother, he's doing some relief efforts, and so he'll be having a bunch of backpacks, book bags, and stuff, school supplies. So I'll put you in contact with him so that you guys can team up and to make sure any of the kids that or any places that may need some of that stuff for the kids going back to school that they'll have it. So I'll put you in contact with the elder Holly, and to get that stuff worked out. But we're glad that you're good, brother. We're glad that you're good. We're glad to have you here, man.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Thank you, man. It has, man. But I listen faithfully. Like the previous caller said, man, you guys are the number one. You guys are the standard there. And that's shout out to all of you guys. Everybody in this podcast, you guys play your roles to the T, and it's effective. And Derek, if you're listening, don't change anything, man. We truly appreciate it, man. But Jesse, last night, that Lights Out, man. That documentary is Lights Out, and if there's any youth football coaches listening, that's something that you want these kids to watch, especially if you're in an urban atmosphere, because Jesse's story is something that we deal with out here with all our kids, keeping them motivated to play and keep the dream alive, man, because these kids, man, they want to dress nice, and they sometimes they can't see, do I go to practice or do I go to work, and they choose the latter the majority of the time. But Jesse, amazing piece. But guys, I have one question, and this is something that I don't think we're touching on. Lyle Collins, guys. He had a car accident last year. I remember that car accident. I don't think we're focusing on this too much, but I remember, Jesse, you saying last year that once a big man has surgery on the back or lower half, it's double the time for them to recover. And we're playing Tampa next week, and right now the story is that he's going to be missing a few days. So how concerned should we be about Lyle Collins? I know that the offensive line is probably the key for Dak. That's the key for Dak. If up front we ain't healthy, it doesn't matter if Dak is back or not. It doesn't matter who the backup quarterback is. If up front we ain't right, do we start getting? And I found out his real nickname for you guys, Zach Martin. It's not the president, it's the butcher, man. They call him the butcher. His family and everybody knows him as the butcher because of the way he played in high school basketball, Jesse. So Zach might be his teammate 3-on-3 out there. The butcher, man, the butcher. So do we start getting Martin ready? Do you guys feel okay with the backups that we have in place at right tackle if we need to? For Lyle Collins, how concerned are we? Guys, thank you. I'm going to let you guys go so other people can get on. Hey, one thing, Shannon.
Yo.
We just booked for New Orleans, man. Me and my boy TJ, who said he saw you a couple weeks ago out at the Star, man. We just booked for the New Orleans game, man. So hopefully we get to see you out there, man.
Yeah, let's. Are we at New Orleans this year?
Yes, sir.
Is that a night? Is that a night game?
Yep. Thursday night.
Ooh.
We are ready. We get on Wednesday.
You need to be in town Wednesday night, and we're going out drinking.
Oh, we ain't doing it no other way.
All right, let's go, man. Let's go. We are going. We're going to have some Miller Lights, man. I'm going to buy you some Miller Lights.
The wife and kids are staying in the hotel. She's going to put them to sleep early.
Let's go, G. Let's go. All right, I'm down.
Man. Shout out, man. But, hey, guys, thank you for answering my call. Thank you,
man.
guys.
Absolutely. Good question. Are you worried about? I think you have to be.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I don't know. I tell you what. I'm not worried. I'm concerned.
Okay.
I'm not worried yet. Let's see how this week plays out. And if this is an ongoing issue, my worry is going to grow. Just like with Tyron. It's like, I'm okay with Tyron now. He's not playing with the neck roll anymore. He talked about it yesterday in his interview. I'm not worried about Tyron. But if Tyron gets a stinger, if Tyron puts the neck roll back on, I'm concerned. And then my concern grows by week if he starts missing practice. Because you got to have, I mean, like Nate says, you could maybe miss one of these guys. You miss two of them, I think we're in trouble.
And he's had 2 stingers at least already in training camp, and I'm not real sure how these work. Is it kind of like concussions where they will progressively get worse the more you have, or is it
they're nerves?
Yeah.
So the only thing that heals nerves is time.
Yeah.
And then they can come back. You can aggravate them at any point in time.
Right. But they tend to get worse.
Yeah. And sometimes they can be. You might have a little one. You might have a big one, and you just never know what the impact is going to be every time that they come. But it's one of those things where for an offensive lineman, anytime it's in the neck, shoulder, it's debilitating. I can't turn my head. I have no punching power.
And all your power comes from your hips. Your hips.
But then I got to extend.
And that's your
I gotta hold these jokers off.
Yeah.
And if I can't do that effectively, and I can't turn my head on a swivel and lock out.
It'll be interesting to see if they move Martin out there or go with Nasecki, or who would you rather have, McGovern at guard or Nasecki at right tackle? I hate we're already having to talk about it.
We haven't even gotten to the season.
You say you're not worried, you're concerned? I'm there as well when it comes to LC.
Let's just wait and see.
I'm concerned. I'm not worried yet.
Yeah.
As we get closer to Thursday,
if he hadn't been out there or one day.
Right.
All right. We got one more caller at least. Chris, who we got?
We've got Brian in Iowa.
Brian in Iowa. What's up, Brian?
Hey, gentlemen. How are you guys doing today?
Great. How you been?
Brother?
Hey, I'm doing good. Hey, Shannon, can I say one thing to Jesse before I answer my question?
Absolutely.
Jesse, thank you for everything you've done, playing the game the right way, and for everything you've been through of just all the determination and showing these young kids how to play the game the right way. And then my question is, everyone's talking about Will Greer, but I was just wondering, what is the role for Corey Komet? He's a running back, but he also brings special teams. And Jesse, you know that role pretty well of showing your dedication and showing your skills. What do you think he'll bring? And then do you guys think that Cowboys made a mistake of not making a look at a line help just in case someone goes down?
Offensive or defensive line?
Offense. Because defense, I think we're okay because I think we have probably the most depth on defense of line than we've always have in a seasons before. Mm-hmm. Because we're always concerned about our defense. And then one last thing, Shannon, is it possible? I mean, it might be a little too late to do, but is it possible to get all the podcasts together to do one big thing for the season premiere? Or if Cowboys do have a great season, do something for the playoffs?
Nah, man, we got too much beef going on with those other shows. There's no chance. Okay, Sorry. It's a good idea. It's a good idea, but right now it's a little too touchy. So maybe towards the end of the season.
Okay, thank you. And I thank you for everything you guys do.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening. First, let's take the second question first. I'm good with the offensive line, personally. I think you've got more depth, you've got more experience than they've had in several years, and I think we get spoiled by this offensive line when you look down the list and you go, okay, there's Tyron Smith, there's Lyle Collins, there's Zach Martin. Like, most teams don't have that luxury of three studs on your offensive line. So you can't have five studs and then five strong backups. I like the way they've built this offensive line. Like, are they going to be young guys on there that are going to make mistakes? Yes, but I like the way they built it.
Yeah,
I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I'm good with the offensive line.
I'm good with the starters. I think they're as good as any line in the business if they stay healthy. But I mean, who's your backup center? I mean,
that's the one. That's the one.
Are you trusting Naseki to be your swing tackle? I mean, I think there's some questions with depth.
But
every team has it.
I was going to say, aren't there always questions with the depth of the offense and defensive lines?
Sure.
Like if you were solid at backup, I mean, no one's solid at backup anywhere.
Yeah.
Really, I don't think.
I want to say we're like the only team in the league that people talk more about our backups than any other team in the league.
You can't make anybody happy with this team because it's like, all right, look,
we're spoiled.
You're good on offense at every position as far as starters, but where's our depth?
We're spoiled.
What about Corey Clement? What about who's going to back up Dak? It don't matter.
This is a thing that we go through. Like, we go through this because we're a top-heavy football team. Mm-hmm. We're a name-brand football team, and a lot of our guys, even our offensive linemen, at one point in time, they were all Pro Bowlers. Yeah. Not all of them, but 3 of our 5 guys were Pro Bowlers. We got Pro Bowl receivers. We got Pro Bowl quarterback. Everybody has a name.
Yeah.
And so we get so caught up in the concern of the backups. And I don't care what team you pick. When you have to start digging into the bag of backups, there's a reason why they are backups.
Yeah.
It is a downgrade from the guy that was in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, you're going to struggle. And there's only but so many 330-pound human beings who can actually move and be nimble enough and strong enough to play this sport. So, when you're looking around, there's 31 other teams that are saying, hey, we want to have 5 good linemen as well.
Yeah.
And we want to have depth of linemen as well. So there's only so many to choose from. We got 3.
Yeah.
We got 3 dudes that could legitimately start over on any team right now across the league.
Yeah.
And we spend more time worried talking about our backups. I get it, those guys get hurt sometimes, but it doesn't matter what team that you go to. If you name a starting tackle or a starting center, if they go out, there's going to be a struggle at that position because the reason that those guys are starters. Yeah. And to answer the Corey Clement question, he's going to be a core special teams guy. He's going to bring experience, on that part of it. He's not going to play over Tony Pollard.
No.
And if Zeke is anything of what Nate has put him out to be
his
the other
1,600
day,
yards.
1,700 yards, Nate said.
Oh, yeah, you forgot about the extra game.
Yeah, then Clory's never going to see any snaps.
Let me ask y'all this. Do you think that was Nate being like big over the top Nate, or do you think there's a possibility that Zeke could sniff 1,700 yards this year?
I think Nate finally settled on 1,500, if I remember right.
Do you think there's any way he could sniff 1,500 yards?
All purpose or 1,500?
No, he said rushing.
Rushing, and I think actually, I can't remember where I heard this, but people were talking about Dak could have 5,000 passing yards. Well, you want to be at a point.
You don't want that.
Yeah, you're chasing then.
Right.
You want to be at a point where we're trying to grind it out and ride Zeke to the victory in the fourth quarter. So I hope he gets 1,500 yards.
I don't think you want him to get 1,700 yards or 1,500. I don't think you want Dak throwing for 5,000. I think if there's more balance, then you've got a really good football team and you're in the playoffs and you're doing damage. But if that number's out of whack one way or the other, I feel like something's wrong.
Yeah, I'm thinking Zeke's more like 1183. Like that's my number. 1183.
I'll give him 13 this year.
1183.
I'll give him that. You know what? We got some predictions to make next week. But right now, let's go to break because I want to spend enough time with our guy, Jesse Holley. Kurt, did you watch it?
Oh, yeah.
Jesse, did you watch it?
I didn't.
I actually got to watch it with Jesse, which was actually really cool.
Yeah, that was.
That was really cool.
Yeah. You kept rubbing my leg, and that was weird.
What? You weren't supposed to say that out loud, Jesse.
You had popcorn, too.
Yeah, we had popcorn. We had some snacks. All right, we will be right back, and we will talk about the Jesse Holley story, the latest Deep Blue that we had on the Dallas Cowboys network. You'll want to stick around to hear what Jesse has to say, get all the inside scoop. When we come back on Hangin' with the Boys.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. When there's work to be done, a real workhorse can make all the difference. Like the Range Boss package. Our 5075E John Deere 75 horsepower tractor features a bell spear and loader and starts at $369 per month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay. No surprises. It works like a horse, so you don't have to.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now, let's get to work.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Welcome back to the show. Last segment for this week for us, but we will be back. What's our schedule next week, Chris?
Tuesday, Friday.
Yeah, Tuesday, Friday.
Tuesday, Friday next week, same time?
Friday starts daily, right?
Yeah, Friday starts daily. Next week, I believe you guys are on. I'll have to look at the schedule here in a second. I'm sorry, guys.
While you're looking, let me tell you about the fan club. Get the ultimate fan experience for the ultimate Cowboys fan. Join Dallas Cowboys United. Presented by Globe Life, starting at just $20. Join now and get your fan pack, exclusive benefits, and more. Visit DallasCowboys.com/United for details and to join today.
Tuesday, 11:30 is when you guys are on.
And then Friday at 11:30?
Yes, sir.
And that'll be our normal spot throughout the season is at 11:30, so make sure you tune in. Chris, are the phones still ringing? No?
We actually got one more call. You want to get to him first?
Yeah, let's do it real quick, and then we'll get into the Jesse Holly story.
Okay, we've got Nathaniel in Florida.
Nathaniel in Florida! What's up, Nate?
What's up, man? How y'all doing, man?
Nathaniel! We're good. How are you?
Hey, let's get this straight. Zeke going for 1,500. I'm sticking to that. I ain't going nowhere, man.
That's almost 90 yards a game. You good with that?
Yeah. You know what, man? He's going to do it. He's going to do it, man. He's going to do this at 16, not 17. Stay with me, baby. Ride with me this year.
All right.
Will that offensive line be healthy enough for him all year long?
Yes, they will. Yes. You just need one of them each game to be healthy.
One of them.
It was two of them before.
It was two of them yesterday. Now it's one today. Tomorrow it's going to be. We just need a corpse out there. What is going to be next?
Man, we got it. Coach Philman got it. He's a genius. He got it, man. I'm telling you. Man. Jesse, I just wanted to call in, man. I watched your show early this morning, man. You know, it was great, man. But the pink shirt, the pink shirt just.
Did you not? Those pastel colors went really well with my skin and my eyes. You got a lot of compliments on that.
It did bring out your eyes.
You got a lot of compliments on that.
And you apparently didn't see Nate in the other documentaries because he's wearing a pink shirt.
Oh, see?
Stop, Kurt.
See?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful, man. I just want to call in. Thanks, I just want to call in. Thanks, Shannon. Thanks, Kurt. And I'm saying to the Jesse, great job.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate you, man.
Great job, man.
You know, this call-in doesn't actually, just because you called in, that doesn't mean actually you get paid for this show. We're splitting your money. We're splitting your money 3 ways.
I'm getting mine. That's what I learned that from Mickey Spagnola.
We don't mention that name on the show.
Man, that was beautiful, man. Yeah, I'm a hard man. I almost got a lip to the tears, man. But then when you quit crying during the San Francisco game, man, quit crying. You don't get it, man. Yeah. Oh man, that was so sweet, man. That was so sweet. But man, Kurt, Chris Bean, Brother Will. Jesse, y'all be good, man. God bless you. I got some business to take care of.
All right, we'll see you. Thanks for calling in, Nate.
All right, bro.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. So I got to watch it with Jesse. Jesse watched it for the first time yesterday in Nick's office. Nick had to come down and do the show, so me and Jesse sat there and watched. And the first question I have about it is, how did they find you? Because you were working as a security guard. Here's this new show, and they obviously want to find some DBs and some receivers, and you hadn't been in the league, and you hadn't done anything in a while. How did they even find these people to be on the show? How did they find you in particular?
So what they did was they was calling around to all of these universities.
And we're talking about Mr. Fourth and Law. We're talking about Fourth and Law on the reality TV show that got you a roster spot eventually on the Dallas Cowboys. Michael Irvin's show.
So the 8-Ball Productions, whoever it was that was doing the show, they were calling around universities and asking people like, hey, do you guys have anybody that you can think of? And so when they called Carolina, they spoke to a guy by the name of Kevin Bess. Kevin Bess had been our PR guy there for 25 years. And I later on found out, the producer said after I won the show, he said, it's funny, when I called Carolina, Kevin Bess gave me one name and one name only. And he said, this would be the guy that you need. And I thought that was so amazing because as a person who's been a part of, at Carolina, there's 100 guys on a football team. And he's been there 25 years. So all the guys that he's come in contact with being the PR director at Carolina in 25 years. He gave them one name, and that was my name. And he said, this will be the guy that you need. This is the only guy that you need. And he said, I kept asking him, is there any more else? Any more? He said, trust me, this will be the guy that you need.
And how did you have that good of a relationship with this guy?
I was nice to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did all the. I can talk. So anytime he needed someone to talk, anytime he needed someone to come do a promo,
you never said no.
I never said no.
And for everybody listening, especially if you're a younger person and you're trying to figure your way through life, two things: always show up and never say no, and you will be amazed.
Except to drugs.
Yeah.
And alcohol.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Be respectful and nice.
Right.
Maybe
But I
not
mean,
say no, but-
it sounds so simple, but if you treat people good, treat them like you want to be treated, talk to everybody like you know them, speak to people, show up and never say no, you will be amazed at where life will take you.
Yeah. And for me, at that time, I was almost 2.5 years removed from school. And for him to still think
remember
about me. Like, again, I'm 2 years removed, and there's 2 classes that have come in after me, and the many classes that came in before me, when they asked for the qualifications of what they were looking for, someone who had the ability to play on Sunday and to be good enough to be in front of a camera, Kevin said, I got him. Here's Jesse Holly. And he gave him my information, and Kevin called me the next day and was like, hey, I just want to let you know I gave your information to these people. They'll be calling you. Look, I can't tell you all that they did, but I thought who they're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's how they found me.
Wow.
After you watched it, because you said on the show on Wednesday when we were talking about it that you were hesitant because you wanted it to be told the right way and you wanted it to be your story. After you watched it, was it done the right way? Was that the way that you had envisioned it being told?
Yeah, I did. And the thing that I understood when I agreed to do it was it wasn't a Hallmark documentary. Like at the end of the day, it's still a sports documentary. Yeah. We still have to get to it's on the Cowboy Network. It's done by the Cowboys. We got to get to the goods. Right. The goods is the Cowboy. That's the part that brings it home. So I understood from the start what it was going to be. I knew that we had to get to the goods, and so it was told in a way that I was. Everything was told in the proper fashion. No one was put out there in a bad light. No one. It wasn't cut up where I was like, that ain't true, or things weren't. It was done perfect, and I think it highlighted a lot of areas. My story is like a 2-hour. It would be a 2-hour documentary
at least.
And
that's the Cliff Notes version, right?
And so to have it done in this way, and it just, even when I was watching it and going through it with Steve and with Nick and all, and I forgot stuff. I was like, oh, where'd you find that clip at? Where'd you hear that at? And I was like, I remember that now. And so it was fun to relive that stuff, but it was told in a way that I loved it and I respected it, and my input was taken, and really, really kind of, it was done well.
Yeah,
I was thoroughly impressed by it.
Because as a subject, and Kurt can speak to this because it's being done about you. There's all this footage that winds up on the cutting room floor, and there's all these ideas, and there's all these pictures, and there's all this stuff, and you as the subject, you don't know because someone else is telling your story through their eyes, right? And they're the creative person that's putting it all together. So you don't know until you see the final product what gets in, what gets out, like, what's important to this person. Something may be more important to me. Kurt, that whole process. You work on these all the time. Like, is that nerve-wracking for you as an editor and producer to, like, did I tell this the right way?
Definitely. I mean, that's always a concern. You want the subject to be happy with the final outcome, and there's so many stories. I mean, hours and hours of interviews and video and whatever that you have to condense down to 45 minutes or so. And so you're always fearful that you're missing something or not telling it quite the right way and that sort of thing. And it's a challenge, but it's fun. You enjoy doing it.
We didn't see the final cut. We saw the almost final cut. Did the cut of him driving around in the car make it because they were going to do that as an outtake as a blooper.
It didn't.
No,
it didn't.
So we need to get that clip and play it on the show next week because that's a funny clip.
Yeah,
Jesse wouldn't let
really
anybody
good.
eat, so we could tell the story about that. What was your favorite part of the documentary?
Man, seeing the younger Jess.
Yeah.
Like
the high school video was awesome.
Yeah, like seeing that Jesse and just watching the evolution. Like when you saw me in high school, you saw these big shoulder pads and this little skinny neck, and I was talking. I've always talked trash. Always.
No way. It looked like you were coming up.
I was talking trash. And then like
little chicken neck,
like literally like just, and then you see the progression, and you see my freshman year, and it's still kind of like this little flimsy guy, and then you kind of see like when I get to like my senior year, it's like, oh, I'm a man now. Like I just saw the growth in me.
You grew into your mouth.
I grew, and my body just looked different, and so
how tall were you in high school? Because you looked a bit shorter than you were.
Yeah, I was probably like 6'1".
Yeah, I was guessing 6 foot.
Yeah,
you didn't look near as tall, as big as you are now.
No. And then I was probably 170 pounds soaking wet. I was all bark. If no one never really challenged me, I know I wasn't afraid of anything. Like I would fight you. I would fight you in a heartbeat. But I was I talked a ton of trash to people. But yeah, and then to hear my coaches, to hear like people talk about you and say, great things about you. That's cool.
That outtake at the end with the coach having to help his neighbor when
that
was funny. They're in the finale of the 4th and long. They're getting ready to announce who's won, and his neighbor needs some help next door, and
she locked herself out the house.
He's like, I'm banging down your door. I gotta get back. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Well, was there anything that was left out that you wish was in there?
There was a scene, and I didn't know they were going to put this in or not. And it was in the early parts of it, and we were having a conversation about, my mom abandoning me and things of that. And I broke down crying. Like it was an emotional moment. And I didn't know whether I was going to make the cut or not. Mm-hmm. A part of me didn't want it to make the cut.
Yeah.
And then a part of me was like, but that was a real emotion that I wanted people to feel at that time. Mm-hmm. But it didn't make the cut. But that was probably one of the things I was like, because that was I came into it saying like, you're not gonna cry, you're not gonna cry, you're not gonna cry, and then you start. One thing about a documentary, it makes you rehash a lot of the old stuff, and some stuff sometimes you compartmentalize.
You put it away and
you put it away. You think you've dealt with it, and then you start talking about it, and you're in that moment. It was just like, oh, here it comes. Yeah. And it was like a manly cry. It wasn't a sissy cry. It was like a manly. Yeah. Of course, it was a manly cry.
There were some moments in the original draft. They had to cut some stuff out. It was too long. But there was some stuff growing up, talking about your mom, your grandmother. Yeah. They were pretty powerful. It's
Yeah.
But time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Time.
I think my favorite part was hands down the ending.
It was a fabulous ending.
The way that and just you let's be real. You're confident, borderline cocky, borderline arrogant.
Leave it right there. I'm just gonna leave it right there. You heard what Richard Dalrymple said.
You love yourself. Yeah, I did.
Rich
that's Rich's opinion. I can have my opinion. I think you're borderline cocky. I think you're borderline arrogant. But I've gotten to know you over the years as a person, and I know where your heart is, and I know that like you're a good dude. Like,
thank you.
You are a good freaking dude. You care about others more than you care about yourself. You love yourself. That just shows you how much you love other people, because you really love yourself
a lot.
But but knowing you as a person,
weird compliment.
That's what we do on the show.
You and Tio must have got along really well.
But I think knowing you as a person and knowing your story, and you told the story about on our show before, that you were never supposed to score that night, that day. You weren't supposed to score, and you said the reason why. And then to see the actual visuals and know that you were in a parking lot and you were at your lowest low as a mall cop, basically. Where do I go from here? What do I do in life? But to stay positive and keep working your ass off, and then take advantage of every single opportunity, and then get into a game and then just be completely defeated at the beginning of the game. I didn't know that story.
Yeah.
Just go out there and play, Jesse. It's gonna something's gonna come to you. Take advantage of it, and to take advantage of it. And then most guys would be like, you know what? I was this close to scoring an NFL touchdown, but that's not how you are. You were like, I wasn't supposed to score. Because if I didn't, I couldn't celebrate the way that I celebrated and by myself and done it that way, and
give my Lord and Savior his just due.
Yeah, and you're always. That's what I love about you is you always, you know that whatever happens in life is supposed to happen, and you trust it, and things always seem to work out, and you can always look back at things, whether it's a week later or a year later or 10 years later, and you go, you know what, that happened because of this, and I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if that didn't happen.
Yeah, I think the entire story entails that, is that, just being able to overcome so much, it gives you, every time you overcome something, it gives you a different level of perspective. And when you go back and you look at it, if you took anything away from the documentary, I want you to take just perseverance and believing and being ready for opportunities. Because when they come, you got to be ready.
And they don't come very often. Not big opportunities.
I mean, when you look at the series of events, it's okay, you got to get on 4th and long. Okay, now you have to win 4th and long. Right? And then you got to be we were watching the when you're not watching it, and if you go back and you watch it again, watch the Minnesota game.
So crazy.
Go back and watch the Minnesota game. Watch where I'm standing. I start at the top of the screen and,
you said
I run down.
You had never realized how crazy the ball bounced
until yesterday.
Yeah.
Watch where you have to. If you do nothing else, go back and watch the cut from the Minnesota game. Yeah. Watch where I start. I run down. The ball bounces about 15 yards. The first bounce away from me. It bounces over 15 people.
Yeah.
And I'm standing in this crowd. And the ball, it didn't bounce over my head high. It bounced literally to my gut.
And if you watch Jesse, he thinks the play's over. He pulls up. The play is over, and the ball hits him in the stomach.
Like, it bounces 15 yards away from me, and it bounces, and it does like a quick bounce, bink. It was like bink, bink, right into my gut.
Back 15 yards.
Back 15 yards
through about 12 people.
Yeah.
You talk about being ready for an opportunity for a moment, and I catch it, and I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm gone. And you had to go just like that. And then, you're just like, I don't think people, when you watch training camp, and you guys are all at training camp, and we fixate our eyes on Amari Cooper, and we fixate our eyes on CeeDee Lamb, and we're fixated on, but there are some guys that stand behind them that don't get many reps, that we do not talk about. I was that guy. And to think about every single time that you got a chance to get a rep, you made it a positive one. You know how hard that is? And I'm not saying that because I'm saying, woe is me. I mean, look at me. But you have to be prepared for opportunities. If you're going to have anything successful in life, when the odds were against me, I did not get a playbook until I stepped foot on training camp. Again, you know how hard it is to not know anything about an offense, anything about special teams until the day that you have to show up for work? Imagine showing up to be a writer and you've never picked up a pen before in your life. Yeah. And then now you have to go in there and say, oh, hey, you got the front page story of our super popular magazine. Here you go. And you're like, what do I do with this? And to be able to go, oh, here you go, and hand in one of the best covers that they ever had for their paper. That's what I was handed. Like, Jason Garrett didn't give me a playbook until I got to San Antonio. And then I had to take that and be the 80th man and to be the 11th wide receiver and just chop wood, chop wood, chop wood, chop wood, chop wood, chop wood, chop wood. And then it parlayed into me being a Cowboy for 3 seasons. So, I mean, you be ready for opportunities, man, because when they come, they ain't coming twice. The door ain't a swinging door. It's an open and it's a shut. And you better make sure when it opens, you don't sashay through that thing. Yeah. You run through it, 4th and long style, baby.
Such a good documentary. Go check it out. It's on DallasCowboys.com. It's on YouTube. It's on all of our social channels.
It's for locally. It'll be airing Saturday night at 11.
Yeah.
Yep.
CBS 11.
CBS 11. So check it out.
So after you Netflix and chill, and you laying there with your cinnamon apple, you know what I'm saying, and she, one of y'all went and got the warm rag.
Oh,
go ahead.
God, why'd you have to ruin a beautiful segment with that visual?
The warm rag. Get the warm rag.
Time to go. Kurt, thanks for being here. Jesse, great job on the documentary, guys.
Thank you, man.
That thing was
Appreciate
awesome.
Thank you, everyone who was in the YouTube live chat. Thank you for everyone who's watched it, who will watch it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I want to win an Emmy.
He wants to win an Emmy.
I want an Emmy. I'm not going to lie to you.
And we'll prove it how bad on the next show. Chris will get that footage. Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. William, thanks for keeping the live streams up. We will be back Tuesday. Is that right?
Tuesday,
11:30.
11:30. Hanging with the boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.